Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Akil and welcome back to another special video for the channel, guys. Yes, I'm back doing another one of these special videos, and this is going to be another ranking video, guys, as the title says. Now, as I said before at the start of the year, I do want to do a ranking video every like 3 months. So I did one back in March where it was a ranking of all the theme parks, amusement parks, and water parks I've been to. Now, for this one, I'm going to be ranking all the states and territories in Australia. And there's 6 states and there are 2 territories, in case you're wondering, for those living, not in Australia, which some of you watching this may not live in Australia, unlike me. So there's that. But unlike me, I was born overseas and then came to Australia when I was like not even 4 years old. So I've called Australia home pretty much even and still almost my entire life. So there's that. And I'm lucky to say that even before the age of 21, even though I was almost 21 that year that I went to Tasmania in 2021, point is that I was almost 21 at the time. And to say that I've been to every state and territory in Australia, in the country, I think I'm pretty damn lucky and fortunate that my family got to take me to all these places. And that's the one thing I would say about, traveling with families, that you get to go to places you would probably never have gotten a chance to go to, maybe even by yourself. So there's that. But I'm glad that I got to go to all these places. If not, I can't do this ranking. And this ranking will be based on just my own personal taste. Well, not really personal taste and preferences, but rather how I felt about each state and territory when I went there, depending on how much I did, how young I was, and all that. There will be some biasness, like everything that is like a list, of course, but at the end of the day, this is just my own opinion. I hope you guys take no offense. Now, there are only 8 of these to rank, so this shouldn't take too long, but if you see the length of the video, you can probably tell if I dragged it out or not. Anyway, guys, without any more time wasting, we're just gonna jump right into it. My ranking of the 6 states and the 2 territories in Australia based on when I went there. Alright, so coming in last place at number 8 is going to be South Australia. And South Australia isn't bad. It's quite solid and good actually, but it's the most boring uh part of Australia just based on what we did there. We went there in 2017. That was the only time we went there, and we actually drove into South Australia. We drove from Sydney to Mildura because we knew people staying there, and then from Mildura to South Australia. And we went there because of the wineries. What's it called? Barossa Valley, right? I'm pretty sure that's the name. Yeah, the famous wineries and uh vineyards, basically, whatever you want to call them, in Australia, and they're there in South Australia. And my parents wanted to go and obviously do some wine tasting, and I was underage at the time, so I could not drink. And even now, I still have not had a single sip and taste of alcohol. Don't ask, it's just a personal choice of mine, unlike my brother. But anyway, me and my brother at the time, we would just sit in the car. We were quite bored and all that, but it was fine, I guess. Adelaide was kind of cool as a city. I don't remember much, and that's why it's at the bottom of the list of the ranking. I would say list ranking, whatever. Anyway, it's just the most forgettable, state slash territory in Australia. And it's funny because if I were to do a ranking of the states in US, it will be totally different. Which is funny because I've been to more cities than I have states, because obviously states have cities in them, like here in Australia. But anyway, South Australia, it's fine, it's okay. I probably never go back there again. But we do have family there now, so the chance of me going back there in the next couple of years does seem a little more likely. But for now, I'm okay with it. Uh, not going back there basically. But South Australia was alright. Like I said, Adelaide was fine as a city. It was kind of cool. I don't remember much. I remember staying in a hotel there, but that's all I really remember. All right, now number 7 is going to be Western Australia. Yes, Perth was fine, I guess. I mean, the city was kind of cool. I remember, we went there once also as well. Back in 2013, and I was not 13 yet. I was still 12 years old. But man, it was like pretty cold because we went like during this time as well of the year. For us in Australia, like June, July, August, it's winter, whereas for most of the world, including the States, I know it's summertime for you guys. So yeah, but Western Australia, Perth, like I said, was fine. What's the famous place near Perth called? I forgot it, but Fremantle, is it? Is it Fremantle? No, no, or is that here? Anyway, it's fine, it's cool, I guess. I mean, we went there mainly because we had family there on my mom's side, which funny enough, the people saying Adelaide now, as I said before, when I say I have family, it's also my mom's side. Yeah, my mom just has a big family. Yeah, but like extended family, that is. But anyway, Western Australia was fine, I guess. Like I said, I appreciated Perth for what it was. I thought it was kind of cool. Just I remember a little more about Western Australia over South Australia. It's a little less forgettable, which is why it's higher up on the list. So there's that. But that's all I really got to say. There's not much else. You know, I'm not trying to drag this out too long, guys, and beat around the bush too much. But that's all I can really say about Western Australia from what I remember. Because it was like 2013. It was like 12 years ago, almost 12 years ago to the day. We went in July, I remember. So yeah. All right, now number six. This one might shock you because I know a lot of people stay there, and this is actually the first place we called home when we moved from Malaysia to Australia back in 2004. And number six is Victoria. Yes, we actually called Victoria home first before where I stay now, New South Wales, Sydney. And Victoria, I mean, it's the home of Melbourne, obviously. That's a capital city. And, say what you will about all the stuff going on there in the news. I mean, if you live in Australia, you know what I'm talking about. There's always all this youth crime and so much stuff happening there. But pushing that all aside, I do have some nostalgia for it because, again, I lived there for like almost a whole year, basically. And, I do have some childhood memories and nostalgia there when I was younger. And that was even before my brother was born. So there's that. But every time we do go back to Victoria, which the last time was like early last year for some event, like a wedding or something, yeah. It's still the same and all that. I even remember like, my dad took us like to like where we used to stay in like an old house and all that, and it was like, oh, it's like still there. I'm pretty sure and all that. Yeah, but anyway, Victoria is interesting. It's very different to New South Wales. Like the roads there are very different and all that. Obviously, the people there are different. But the main city, Melbourne, you got the trams and all that. It's very cool, very different. So that's the one thing I would say they have over us here in New South Wales in Sydney. But I would never stay in Victoria mainly because of the crime rate there. I think it's the most dangerous place in Australia. But hey, it is what it is. But it is higher up than Western Australia and South Australia mainly because I do have a little more nostalgia for it over two states that I just went to once and that's it. Victoria, I think I've been to the most, even more than like Canberra, or should say ACT and Queensland, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, because when I was younger, we used to drive there quite often. Not I used to drive there, but I was part of the drive. That kind of makes sense. I was in the car. Anyway, I'm already rambling on here, as you can probably tell. But Victoria, it's not too bad. It's fine, but the nostalgia does bump it up a bit. All right, now number five is going to be a very underrated and very beautiful part of the country. Even though it's isolated, even though it's kind of an island, you probably know what I'm talking about now when I said those two things. But number five is Tasmania. Yes, I love Tassie. Even though I did not see a Tasmanian devil there, which sucks, but still, I did get quite close to like a kangaroo or like Joey Wallaby, whatever uh, it was. But to me, it looked like an actual kangaroo. Like I know what kangaroos look like. Okay, so yeah, and that's the first time I've ever been up close and person to like real life like wild Australian wildlife like that. That's not in cores or in cages and stuff. Yeah, but Tassie is beautiful. It's the most beautiful part of the country, guys. I highly recommend you go to Tasmania if you're staying here for a couple weeks and you're coming from overseas and you're thinking of going to a nice scenic beautiful place, then just go to Tasmania. It's a couple hours flight from like Sydney and Brisbane and Queensland, and it's the same for every other part of Australia too. But it's obviously closer to the east side if you look at it from the map. And yeah, but Tasmania is really, really nice. You can pretty much drive across the whole state, and I don't know, maybe in like a day or two. It depends. I mean, I don't know where we stayed. Was it Launceston or was it Hobart? I can't remember. Uh, Actually, no, it was Hobart. I remember we arrived in Hobart that night at airport, and then after that, I think we drove to Launceston. But either way, though, Tasmania is really, really beautiful. There's some nice views there. I took some really nice photos on for my Insta and all that, and I really loved it. I thought it was just really beautiful, very scenic, and I was actually blown away. As someone that does not love like nature and stuff, like Tasmania is like probably the most beautiful place I've been to in the world. Maybe besides the desert in the UAE. Yeah, no joke. I mean, US, as far as I can tell, they have some beautiful stuff there, but in terms of like actual natural landmarks, aside from the Grand Canyon, that's pretty much it. Oh, and Niagara Falls, but we saw it from the Canada side, not the US side. But anyway, Tasmania is awesome. It's really nice, very beautiful, very scenic, very underrated if I do say so myself. And that's why it's number 5 on the ranking, guys. All right, number 4 is Northern Territory. And you might be asking yourself why this is higher up than Tassie. Well, it's because of Uluru. Uluru, Ayers Rock, that big red rock right in the center of the country, which if you look at the map, it technically is so amazing. That was like the one place in the entire country that I wanted to go to the most. And finally, after years and years and years of waiting, I finally got the chance to go there. It was my bucket list dream since I was a kid. I don't know why. Growing up in Australia, like learning about Australian culture and stuff and the history through like school and all that. And whenever we would see like documentaries about like landmarks in Australia and stuff like that, whenever I would see Uluru represented, it would always look so cool and majestic. I don't know what it is about that big red rock or orange rock, whatever color you want to call it. To me, it's red. Anyway, it just looks so cool. So the fact that I got a chance to go there and it was early this decade, even though we probably should have been traveling because it was in 2020, I would say. So there's that. But it was like closer to the end of the year, so it wasn't too bad. But even then, still, that was that was a fun trip. We went with like kind of a big group actually. So there's that. We did go with someone also to Tasmania, but it was only one other like couple like that my parents knew. Like we're family friends with them. So there's that. And yeah, I thought Northern Territory was very interesting. It's very hot there. There's a lot of insects, so keep that in mind. And also, we did not go to Darwin. I'm pretty sure we didn't even go to our experience. No, maybe we did. Yeah, but I probably would not go back to Northern Territory unless someone really wants to. And also, there is Darwin, which I've not been to, which I'm curious about the main capital city of the territory. But just for Uluru alone, it's number 4. I'm sorry. Like, nothing in Tasmania can ever beat that red rock. It is so amazing. It's just one of the best things I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, the fact that that even exists is amazing. It's one of my favorite landmarks in the world. Top 5, I would say. Yeah, I love Uluru. It's amazing, and I'll put it right up there with the Statue of Liberty. I'm not even joking. Like, the more I think about it, it stands out so much more because it's not even a statue, it's just a rock. And it's red. And it's huge. So, yeah. Alright, now, number 3. I don't care what anyone says. This place gets way too much hate. It's also the most underrated part of Australia. Number 3 is ACT, guys. Yes, the Australian Capital Territory is number 3 on this list, otherwise known as Canberra, the capital city of Australia. And before you guys say anything, oh, he's just putting it because he probably went a lot when he was a kid. Yeah, there is that in school camps and all that. But Canberra is awesome. You got the old Parliament House, the new Parliament House, War Memorial, Questacon, Mint Factory, Telstra Tower if you're interested, the Embassy if you're interested, the National Libraries there, there's like the National Zoo there, even though I've not been to. What's it called? Cockington Gardens or something, like the miniature garden place. There is so much in Canberra. It's such a beautiful place. I wouldn't even mind living in Canberra. Yeah, I'm not joking. I don't get the hate, guys. I don't. ACT is awesome. Pushing all the political stuff aside, which I'm not even down to politics, even though I probably should be. But anyway, ACT is awesome. I do not get the hate. Maybe it's because after going to the States and going to DC that one time, I appreciate Canva so much more because it's even structured and laid out in a very similar way. You know, in DC, they have like Lincoln Memorial facing the White House, facing the Capitol Building, facing the Washington Monument. It's kind of like that here. Like the Parliament House faces directly opposite the War Memorial, and then the other side is like the Telstra Tower, then the other side is like the Mint Factory or something. I don't know. Anyway, I love ACT. ACT is awesome, and again, I don't get the hate. I know people say it's boring. I know people say it's all like the political stuff, all the politics stuff happens there. I get it, but it's such a beautiful, underrated, scenic place. Like you can go do some nice walks there. It's from what I remember, easy to drive. Actually, no, that's not true. I do remember they have a lot of tunnels and stuff. But anyway, I really love ACT. I don't care what anyone says. ACT is very special to me. It holds a special place in my heart. As a kid, I do have fond memories of it. And even now, as a young adult, technically adult, I would say, because I'm be 25 next month, which is crazy to think about. ACT is awesome. I'm a fan of it. And some people, if not everyone watching this, will be scratching their heads thinking why he didn't put this at the bottom. Well, just based on my own personal experiences living in this planet and the amount of times I've gone to ACT when I was younger, it's beautiful. It's really really nice. So yeah, if you've not been to ACT and you live in Australia, I don't know what to say to you. Seriously, it's the capital city. Canberra's the capital city of Australia, not Sydney to all those that think it is. By the way, all right. Now number two is Queensland. You got Cairns, where the Great Barrier Reef is. You got Brisbane, the capital city, and you got Gold Coast, which is like the entertainment hub of Queensland. There is so much to do in Queensland. Just Gold Coast alone, that one street, like block of like buildings and stuff really reminded me of like LA, like Hollywood Boulevard. Like that one place, you know, where they have like Ripley's Museum and like the Wax Museum and stuff like that. There's like this one place like that in Queensland, no joke. It really gave me those vibes now that I think about it. And of course you have the theme parks in Queensland, Movie World, SeaWorld, Dreamworld. If you saw my theme park ranking, I mentioned that before. So yeah, but Queensland, man, they're very nostalgic. We went there actually 2.5 years ago in early 2023. That's the last time we went to Queensland, and then last year we went to Melbourne. So yeah, but anyway, or should I say Victoria? But Queensland, it's such a big state. I mean, just look at it on the map. However, I would not live there because of the natural disasters. The cyclone there are crazy, and then they lead to flooding and Victoria also. That's the one thing about New South Wales. Like it's right in the center, and I love how it's because of that. It's never really affected by any like crazy natural disasters. There is flooding, but it doesn't go to crazy extent like in Victoria, or even up north in Queensland. I guess just that's just the bad luck of being close to like the, you know, where the the water like push. I don't know like like if you look at a map, that's where all like the stuff comes from, like the ocean up there. So yeah, basically. But anyway, I'm a fan of Queensland, and we do have like one family staying there that we know. It's not like actual family, like on my mom's side, as I said before, but like family friend, like they actually like know my parents. So yeah, even before I was born. So yeah, but Queensland, awesome, absolutely amazing, and I mean, there's so much to see and do there. So yeah. But number one, we all know what it is. It's New South Wales. I know it's a very biased thing to put the place I live at number one. But guess what? It has the best of everything. The one thing it doesn't have though is theme parks. I mean, Luna Park is an amusement park. Raging Waters is a water park. It does not have an actual theme park. I wish it did. Because Sydney is one of the most visited and most talked about places in the entire world. A lot of people love moving to Sydney. A lot of people want to stay in Sydney, and I totally get that. I mean, just look at the image I chose for Sydney alone. Like, the harbour itself is absolutely beautiful, Sydney Harbour, you know? It never gets old. Those views never get old. The amount of times I've gone there, and I'm just so amazed by the beauty of it. Even during the daytime, like the blue sky when it's like just a nice sunny day, like it is kind of today, I would say. And I don't know, I just love New South Wales. I mean, that you can drive to like all these different parts and you can discover so much. You can do driving north, south, east and west. Well, maybe not east because that's like near like the beach, like Bondi and all that, I would say. But west, south, and north especially, like you can do driving and it's crazy like where you end up. Like keep driving north, you go to like Newcastle, Central Coast, Byron Bay, Coffs Harbour. Keep driving west, you'll go to like Bathurst and I mean Blue Mountains, Bathurst, and then what's the other, and then there's Orange, right? And then what's the other one that's west? I forgot the name. And then south, obviously they'll go to Melbourne and Cameron stuff. But yeah, it is so beautiful at times, like the state. Like there's so much to see and do here. Like every time I take a flight and go overseas, which I'll be doing on Monday. That's also one of the reasons why I'm doing this video now, because I'll be gone for like 12 days. So there's that. But anyway, it's like I see in the flight map, oh, we're still in New South Wales, like 2 3 hours away. That's crazy. So yeah, but I love the state I live in. I'm very happy with it. I would not move out of here unless I really, really have to. I already talked about Canberra. So there's that. But overall I love New South Wales. And yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. I mean, I'm very biased for putting in number one, but I'm happy with what it has so far. So to offer so far. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about New South Wales. There's just so much to see and do here. It's got some very beautiful places. The Blue Mountains is beautiful. They got nice beaches. So yeah, that's all I gotta say for it being number one. But guys, there you guys have it. That's my ranking of all the states and territories in Australia, the six states and the two territories, I would say. And I apologize for anyone living in like South Australia, Western Australia. I did not mean to put those states too low, but again, that's just based on that one time I visited them. Maybe if I go back, my thoughts and opinions will change, but for now, they are at the bottom. And if you think I didn't give enough reasonings, I can't help it. Just some of these I could barely remember. I also did not want to make this too long because there's only 8 of these to rank. But guys, there you guys have it. That's my ranking of all 8 states and territories, or should I say all the states and territories in Australia, the 6 states and the 2 territories. What do you guys think about this ranking? Tell me your own ranking down in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. My name's Akil, otherwise known as the Comic Director, and I'm signing out.